Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining me. This is Tarly Live, and you're on the Tarly Live channel on YouTube. And today, I have my friend DK420, who's been joining me lately, and I just love hanging out with this guy. He is like my brother in Canada. And also today, guess what? We got D420K in the house. He is this awesome guy that I've been following for a long time on Hash Church, you all. And that's why I'm on today, because I'm taunting Bubble Man to bring back Hash Church. Yep, that's it. Bring back Hash Church. But hey, it's up to you. But so I feel like people need a place to hang. And I wanted to give people a place to hang on Sunday here with my friend Darren and D420K. Darren, D420K, that's his name. And DK Trades. This is really confusing you guys today.
Let's just go with
I am going to need a dab. Oh my gosh. Are we ready to dab yet? Wake and bake, dab. I have not waked and baked enough.
Well, let's do a bong rip and start it off right.
Awesome.
Bong rip, mother lovers. Let's do it.
There we go.
Thanks, Darren. I needed that this morning. So welcome, chat. If you just turned in, I'm going to take a dab. What's everybody ripping on today? What do you guys got?
Yeah, let's see. For myself here, I'm using a little bit of that Delta 8 distillate and making it extend some of my kind selections. So I'm going in on some platinum sour cheese. And yeah, it's pretty good.
Awesome.
This one is a mix of OG Kush flour and Gorilla Glue flour pressed into my rosin.
Yummy.
And also a chocolate chip cooked mint chocolate chip, Dutch treat, and Mendo cookies or mango cookies, all into one as well. And I kind of put all in the mix in it. And
wow. Well, then that should be pretty interesting profile. Hey, nice and heavy for that first half there, but then a little bit to kind of bring you up and not put you to sleep, eh?
Yeah, enough to just it'll put you out. You do 2, 3 in a row, you're having
totally
for sure.
And look at this. We've got Zack.
Awesome, Zack.
Right on.
Good to see you. How are you doing, Zack?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing today?
Good.
Welcome, Zack. I am just about ready to
Thank
take
you.
a dab. And thanks for joining us. We're interviewing D420K, as you know, today. We're going to get to know D behind the scenes. I'm so excited. You know, I've been following this guy for how long, but I really don't know a lot about him, even though he has a YouTube channel, right? We don't know a lot of these little tips and trips because they don't really tell us these things, right?
Yeah, exactly. So Darren, what exactly is your YouTube channel? And let's just get into it a little bit. Like, we're very curious as to what did you do to get started with cannabis? Like, when was the first time you consumed cannabis?
Well, the YouTube channel is under D420K. It's entertainment and educational. You know, I'm a bit of a funny guy sometimes, and like to do, you know, don't just like to jump on and bong rip, but do a rip and all that. So I keep it kind of funny. There's all kinds of different stories, from doing acid trips and fucking making from acid trips to making hash to showing what we're doing and how I'm doing it. Just my way of doing it and my attitude that goes along with it is on the YouTube channel pretty much.
Awesome.
I haven't put a video out for a while. Just you know, it's not consuming me where it needs to be done once a week or this and that. I've got grandkids, and I've got a medical grow and a garden and a home and a yard and pets that I look after all myself. I'm not shacked up here with
You mean you have a life?
I have a life, exactly. And
That's a full life you got there.
And I have it, and I have a good life, so I like to live it and enjoy the times. So it's I don't do the YouTube stuff as much as I should, but I will. You know, I applied to get paid at one time or something like that by YouTube, and they said I didn't have enough content or enough minutes or something.
Oh yeah,
It ain't easy.
We don't go down that road.
I'm not even worried. I'm not concerned about that part of stuff. I like to share stuff, and my Instagram is where I put most of my pictures and stuff that I take pictures of, and my dog, and you know, different things like that, right? So there's my D420K on YouTube, D420K on Instagram, and Carol_Dabs on Instagram to cover my pups. So that's about it.
And boy, is Carol just a little sweetheart. You guys have to check it out. Oh my goodness. Just a
Yeah, where is she at? I was going to say, are we going to get a little view of her later on, if not right now?
Yeah, she'll be here.
Okay.
She's out in the yard pissing around, being a dog.
I shared the information in chat, so you guys can go and check it out for yourselves.
Hi, girl. How you doing?
Thanks, DK, for doing that. I appreciate all you moderators out there that help me share and send out links and remind people to also have it up on live chat and not top chat today. If you are in the audience and you're hanging out in live chat, make sure you have it on live chat or you will miss some of the comments. Oh, look at, there she is. We got to highlight this baby. Look at this beautiful little thing. Oh my gosh.
She's like a little pit bull. It's funny. She's so strong and such a just all muscle, this little dog.
What breed is she, Darren? Is it a bulldog?
She's a French bulldog.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
She got the big ears. She seems to be the type of personality that ignores all of her chew toys that I get her and goes for my nice electric Harley Davidson gloves, plug-in ones or something, you know, or my nice
It's
pen.
because they have
Yeah,
daddy's,
the real expensive ones,
you
right?
guys, it's
Not the
because they have
cheapo.
daddy's sweat.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
daddy's sweat. It's
Or she's
super
pissed off
important.
because you're not paying attention to her.
well, you know what? I don't even think she does that. She just is such a good little dog. I'm impressed. Like, I'm surprised. She's maybe shit 3 times in the house since I've had her.
How old is she?
Most of the one, she's like 17 weeks, 18 weeks now.
Okay.
And
Yeah, that's not much.
no, like she comes and she sits, like I whistled at the door, she comes running. If I see her chewing what she shouldn't be chewing, I'm like, get on your bed. And she goes running and gets on her bed and looks at me like, what the fuck, right? And she's really smart, really smart. I think I've got what my challenge is to give her enough time to teach her what she needs to know. And it won't be hard, it's easy, but I think that's going to be the only thing. She's got room to, I could probably train this dog to be like a movie dog and do the spots and everything like that if there was really enough time. She takes care of it naturally. Like, she's a good girl. Little muscle head.
Adorable little doll. So beautiful. Yeah, everybody's loving her. Everybody's loving her in chat. Look at the pretty puppy, they're saying. How's everybody doing out there? Thanks everybody for tuning in today. Hey, so we're going to get in this interview with D420K today, and we're going to get to talk to him a little bit. If you guys have questions, please be sure to shoot them at Tara or at DK. Or one of the panel members. Anybody on the channel can help out. We want to help get your questions answered today because it's super important. Y'all, I miss House Church, and I'm super happy to be able to interview Darren today because we've been hanging out on Zoom, and oh my gosh, we can't leave the other dog out because hey, wait, we got to show the other dog. Don't play favoritism here.
Oh,
there we go.
She'll be just mad at me if I don't include her.
And who's this one, Darren? Introduce her.
Her name is Dabs. She's very well known in Hash Church and the whole works. She's part of the team.
Absolutely. Gotta have Dabs.
Loves the beard. She gets right in there all the time.
Love
it. Yeah, that's my pets. I got a cat too, but he does what he wants, you know.
Yeah, they're kind of independent, huh?
Yeah, they all do what they want.
Yeah. Cool. So anyways, as I was saying though, I've been getting to hang out with D420K behind the scenes, getting to know him a little bit. And I know a lot of people out there have looked up to Darren for a long time. He does an amazing dry sift static tech. I mean, that was actually where I learned the static tech was from. I learned the dry sift from Johnny B, and then I learned the static tech from Darren. So it's really cool that I've been watching these guys for how long, and now I get to hang out with them and talk to them and ask them questions that I've been wanting to know. So let's start off with Darren. When did you first consume cannabis? When, where, what? Tell us what was special about that event, because everybody kind of has that special moment, maybe a song, maybe who you were with. Go ahead.
Well, I think this has happened with a lot of people. The first time I smoked, I didn't get high. But the first time I smoked I was like probably 11 or 12 years old. And there was I was living in a townhouse complex on Vancouver Island in Duncan. And there was another townhouse complex behind us that had a girl there that I liked. And I went over to visit one day, and she had an older brother that showed up, and he said, "Hey kid, you smoke pot?" And I was like, "No, what's that?" He says, "You want to try it?" I said, "Sure." So I went up in the room with him and a couple other of his buddies. These guys were probably 14, 15 years old. And, they were bigger kids, older kids, and cool and all that. They weren't mean to me or anything. They were real nice guys. And they smoked joint after joint after joint with me and couldn't fucking believe that I wasn't fucking getting high. And so I was just like, right on. We smoked and that was fine. But I didn't know what weed was. I didn't know there was buds. I thought it was leaf, and that was it, because that's all we really had access to, me and my buddy Jonas. He
So like what year would that have been? Do you
would have
know?
been 81, 82.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there was this guy that lived down the street road from me, Darren, another Darren. And he was this kid that went from being a kind of you remember the stage where you're all in elementary school, and then that one summer you're going to high school, and there's kids that come back that were kind of long haired and greasy, and some were fucking preppy and some were jocked, and there was all the little cliques. Well, I come back to school kind of like Darren was like that. He come back to school, he was like that. I wasn't quite like that yet. I didn't know what the fuck I was. I was a little hockey player and little hockey jock and a little head and a little rowdy and headbanger. I grew up on the edge of the native reserve in Duncan, and my best friend was Jonas, who was half native and half black. And we were the white and black kid that were on the reserve, and we got a lot of beefs, man. I got beat up by dudes' big sisters and stuff like that. And like it was a rough place and rough time, but this guy turned into a skid. Like that's what we were labeled as. And he said, "Hey, you want to smoke one, Darren?" I was like, "Yeah." And we smoked, and it was bud. And fuck, I couldn't fucking believe it, man. I was chewing a piece of gum that I chewed it so long, it turned into like, I had dry mouth so hard that it turned into like a wad of fucking paper. And I staggered fucking home to the complex I was in from down the street he was in. I couldn't fucking believe it. I was so fucking high. And from then on, I was getting stoned. Got caught at fucking school rolling joints in the bathroom fucking not long after that. And then started getting in shit. Fucking kicked out of school and off to juvie I went. That was 11. So 81 is when that took place.
Wow. What a crazy little first time, let's call it, first time experience. Like
Yeah, that was it was cool. I remember the first bag of homegrown I had was the size of my fist, rolled up in a sandwich bag. It was all leaf. Fuck, I thought I was the fucking king, man.
Yeah, that was so funny. My husband was telling those stories about that they thought that's what got them high was the leaf. Like they had no idea it was the flower, and like whoever let probably their plant grow long enough to get to the bud. I mean, who fast were they harvesting those leaves? I mean, you think about all that stuff. I didn't smoke. I did for a long time, so I'm like was new to this. So I love to hear these stories from you guys because it helps me understand who you are and what you came from and what made us all and how cannabis became about, right? It helps us understand more about the history.
I thought the chicks were really hot too. All the stone chicks. I fucking loved them. I was just like, yeah, I want to hang out with you.
That's because they are, man. Girls that smoke cannabis are awesome.
Yeah, you're right.
A step above.
Yeah. Well, I've said this, this round of my life that, I've had women in my life that I've had long-term relationships with and stuff that didn't smoke weed or any of that kind of stuff. And there's not a snowball's chance in hell that I will spend the rest of my life with someone after this stage that doesn't smoke weed with me every day. It's just not going to happen. It's not in the cards. Let's do a bong rip.
There you go. Perfect transition time.
Perfect timing. Awesome. Yeah. What are you smoking on today, Zach? You want to share that with us since you jumped in a little late?
Yeah, absolutely. Congolese.
Ooh,
Nice.
Congolese. Same thing as always. I love the Congo.
that's a flavorful one. I'd like that too.
Yeah, man.
Well,
I'm a
you
huge
know, our
fan.
friend Vision Creator who created that Congolese for the we got down there, Robert's Great Congolese we got out. He's in chat today. So, hey, Vision Creator, boom shiva to you because you always say that in Bombalay. So, cheers, everyone. I hope you're having a fantastic Sunday. Happy, high, and healthy these days. I hope you're staying safe out there. And I am so excited that Darren's here with us today again. Thank you for being here again, Darren.
It's my pleasure,
And
Sarah. My pleasure.
you know, I'm going to let DK take the next question away. Where do you want to go with DK? You got another question for Darren, or should we chill for a minute and have a few rips?
Well, I know
Fire
we're
away,
ready,
go
and
for
I
it.
have a whole line of questions. I mean, I've been watching Hash Church forever. I mean, I've met Darren years ago at a Cannabis Cup up at Silver Star in the local Okanagan area here, and was lucky enough to meet him again. And we've been Zooming and stuff. So I mean, I could keep him for hours. But I was curious if Zack had any questions loaded up that he had for him in correlation with where we're at kind of now with kind of his entry, where he started growing, and maybe you want to get into what or something. But here, I'll let you jump into that. And after that, I've got, like I said, a whole list of questions. And I know, Tara, you've got a few as well. So
Fire away. No problem.
what do you think, Zack?
Yeah, man. I want to know about your garden now. I love the story about how everybody gets into it for sure, but I want to know how you're growing that great fire and resin right now. What varietals you're working with?
Well, right now I'm working with our main staple of OG Kush.
Okay.
Seems to be, when we first got it, after it started surfacing and people were loving the OG Kush, that real dank, heavy weed, everything turned into a Kush type thing, right? So
Yeah, like is that an old school genetic you've had for a while? Sorry to interrupt you there.
yeah,
Because
we have-
you hear the OG being thrown around a lot, right? And
yeah,
I don't
and
even know if I've ever even had OG, man. Like it's always said it on the bag, but at the end of the day, it's like it seems to be so diverse depending upon where you get it,
that I
where
can
you're
say
at.
about my OG is there's an individual I've shared some with that has had other individuals, rock stars and lines of Kush and that sort of stuff. And the guys that have had those cultivars that have told my friend about them have also told him that mine is a little bit stronger than the ones they have. And for me to hear that coming from those individuals through my friend is huge to me. Very, very, very big, because these guys hold cups, and not just a cup, they hold display cases of fucking cups. And to have these guys talk well about my OG strain, it's not my OG strain. I acquired it a long time ago in like 2008, and we haven't let it go. And the reason we haven't let it go up here is because in those times, is the black market days and stuff, or the gray market, whatever it is. There, even before that, we had cuts that were like hash plant that was just like, if you guys remember the old hash plant that grew like 3-4 pound plants.
I had
And
a couple
just-
bags of that about a month
just-
ago, man.
Oh, I'd like to see that stuff again, because if it's even near the same,
Gorgeous.
it is fucking unbelievable. Like when we gave those strains out, those cultivars out, it was the time that we were all making money, and it was one that was making us money. Pounds of weed were 36 and 4,500 a pound back then, and you're making fucking cash. And then you'd have guys that were taking the cut, and they want to get their skidoo checked. They buy it in the spring, so they get it in the first day of winter and that sort of thing. And they go to their skidoo, because we're a big snow town up here and all that in our area. Most of our time is in the snow. And these guys would buy their skidoos and everything like that, but they'd drop the price. There wasn't a fucking unified front where everybody's keeping these price points proper, because it was just a matter of, well, I want to get this, I want to get that. Here, just take it for 25, and then change the price point for everybody, and it fucked it all up. And then trying to get those cuts back from some of those guys was almost like the only way to do it was to kick a door in and cut it yourself and punch them in the face on the way out. You know what I mean? and that's that. But so we've kept the OG up here under lock and key. We've shared it with a few people that use it for not, too many people in this industry have taken information from myself, from Johnny, from Mark, from everybody and anybody that would give information, and using it to make a lot of money and get better their lives, better their situation and stuff. And, I get it, but don't fucking just outright try to just squeeze the sauce out of us and then just wipe your ass with us and fucking flush us down the toilet, say see you later, because that's how it fucking is.
Yeah, that's no good.
And you go to these conferences and stuff, and there's a lot of people that want to just, hey come here man, hey come here. I like the natural organic fucking sense of it all, like what we're doing here and everything. I like sharing all the information we've ever got. I've not held back anything except for holding the OG Kush up here. And we've given it
That's all good, man. It's your cut, right? It's like you've had that shit forever.
Yeah,
that's essentially yours.
The person that I got it from is a good friend that deserves the respect of not bringing it down there. And like the story behind it is these guys paid $100,000 for the OG cut, one clone, to be drove up here on a rig from California to BC over the border. And that's how these guys acquired it. And $100,000 for these guys is like the fucking change in my hand right now that I got is to them. It's nothing. And I ended up smoking it the very, very first time was with Mark Wahlberg. I did a movie called Shooter. I landed a role in that when it was at one of those right place, right time situations. And I was on the set with Mark and his entourage, and we were talking weed and everything. And I was bragging up that I can get, some of the best in BC, I can come to bring to smoke with you guys. They were like, well, fucking let's do it. So there was a couple of weeks in between the shoots that we were doing, and I had time to go literally up to Dawson Creek, rode my bike to Dawson Creek from Prince George, and then all the way down to Vancouver. And I got everything from really nice bubble hash from Mark to about 8 different dudes that grow weed across BC. I got their best, and I acquired a few along the way. I had about 12, 15 strains, cultivars to smoke with them, and hash, and we smoked it all.
Fucking Mark,
and then Mark pulls this fucking baggie out of his pocket, squished up with a little bud in the corner of it, just shiny from being so squished and so much resin on it and stuff. He takes it out, we smoke that, and after smoking everything that we smoked, I was fucking baked. And nobody, and you got to understand that this is something that I've held on to tightly for most of my life, is no one usually has better gear than me in the room, because I thrive to have the best, whether I've got to find it or I grow it. And I was usually finding it back then, and growing good weed, but definitely not how I do it now. And to be topped like that, like he's like, I'm the only guy that brings my shit to BC, dog. I was like, holy
wow,
fuck,
cool. That's
so
awesome.
we fucking smoked that, and that was that. It was, I never seen it again or anything like that. And then I was at a wedding in my buddy's place in Kelowna, and I smelled it through a crowd of fucking whole bunch of fucking dudes. And I just weaved right through everything, everyone. And OG Kush, he's like, good nose. And I'm like, fuck, I need that fucking cut. He's like, come and see me. Just don't bring it down. No problem. So we've had it since. And it's definitely a fucking dominating strain. I love it. The other ones we're working with is a Gorilla Glue and Strawberry Banana Kush that I'm really enjoying a lot of. The Gorilla Glue has that.
Is that the DNA genetics, the strawberry banana?
I don't know. I acquired the cut through a friend in Kelowna, actually. And
nice.
yeah, it's a super secret strawberry banana kush. So
I was gonna ask
okay.
you,
Oh, nice one.
Yeah.
It's probably extra tasty then.
Yeah, well, you know what? It really is. Like,
it smells great. It's got a great flavor to it.
It does. It doesn't have that OG kush fucking kick to the fucking head, but It's pleasant. It's really nice. It's got good flavor. I enjoy smoking it, and the rosin off it's even fucking better.
Nice.
So yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah, it's almost no
Good.
contest between OG Kush or like heavy
Well,
heavy
yeah.
hitters
Yeah.
and
You
the
know,
fruitier
that
citrus ones, right?
I want to go back to that strawberry for a minute. I just had some strawberry diesel. It seems like strawberry and all the fruits are like big on the menu this year. Do you guys see that? Like that's
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Papaya.
There's just so
I'm
many
hearing like it's all these
varietals out there.
fruits.
Yeah, everything. So many crosses and
I'm a fruit fan.
crazy
Bring on the
named and
fruits,
stuff, so.
baby.
Everything that I've noticed these days, like there's this one mint chocolate chip cookies, or it's the Mendo cookies. But those two,
Or
one
the
of those
thin
two-
mint cookies.
or yeah, exactly. Now
I'm sick of the cookies.
these cultivars, when I've heard about them, all this kind of stuff. When I've actually acquired these things that everybody's going on a rave about, they've reminded me of just old strains that I had when I was younger that have seemed to resurface now, that have a ton. Like it almost, like when you open the bag and smell it, it's a nostalgic effect. It takes you almost back to that era that you were in, and you can almost smell how the air in that era smelt. It brings you back that hard. That's what I find, and people are just renaming stuff and figuring they got this new strain or they built it or
Well, that's how
kinda
many
weird. None of
people
it's
Oh,
don't
yeah, for
label
sure.
their stuff though, guys. Like, come on. I have one in the garden seriously this year that I did not. I missed it. I didn't get a label on it. Like I literally didn't get a label on it. Like how often does this happen? And then how often do people go, "Hey, I now bred it or I pollen checked or whatever you want to call it, and now it's mine. I bred it on my property and now I'm going to rename it." So, I don't know. It's going to be really interesting. I was really hoping, that whole, genetic thing would come about, that everybody would have that cool DNA sharing thing, but that didn't go so well the first time around. So, maybe they'll get back to that. So, it'll be that interesting. But did you have anything to continue on that, Darren? You want to?
Oh, you wanted to know what I was growing? You want to know how I'm growing it or anything like that? I'm growing.
Yeah, if you want to share, man, I'd love
go
to.
for it.
I just like to see the varietals people are up to. It's always interesting to me what people like to keep and grow and whether people experiment with stuff. So,
well, here's one thing I found with a lot of growers is a lot of growers want to buy other shit because they don't smoke their own gear. And for myself, I don't fucking get that, because isn't that the fucking purpose of growing your own shit, is to smoke your own shit? Like
yeah,
it's
a little weird, right?
Those things. It kind of surprises me when some people, because it's been like this forever. Back in the days when I was selling weed and all that kind of stuff, guys would come to buy my weed because they wanted it for personal, and are selling their weed because their stuff they're growing is a producer, and it's a 6-weeker or something like that. So they're just fucking hammering it out the door and everything. And now these days, people can't really hammer that shit out the door anymore because it ain't worth it anymore. There's the money flip factor is not there, and
Quality's not there
medical,
either, too.
Yeah, the quality is
There's just so much subpar cannabis.
Yeah,
everywhere.
Well, okay, is it really subpar, or has the bar has just been raised? I think the bar has been raised. There's so many new growers out there that are more passionate. Like I think the passion takes a lot.
Growing it for themselves.
Yes,
for sure.
Like I just think the passion has raised the bar, because we look at all of us that we want to talk cannabis all the time.
There's university courses on it and stuff, right? I actually really understand the whole breaking down to it.
It's all about the nuances, though, right? I mean, like the people that that are the best growers have been doing it for a long time. They've fucked up a bunch of times. They've figured out really cool shit. They've shared shit with their buddies and yeah, dude. And then they've got this ridiculous herb and no one can figure out why, or this fantastic hash or whatever, right? It's like, yeah, like you said, Tara, it's all about the love, right? You gotta give a shit about what you're doing.
Intent, passion. Those are the
For
two
sure.
things, man. Those are so new. Those are like not new, but those are like so big eye opening for me. If I want to know somebody, I just want to know their intent, and then you know so much about someone, right? It's amazing.
Yeah.
Everything's intention, right?
Yeah.
Why are you doing what you're
Stuff.
doing? Why are you
Yeah.
hanging out with your bulldog or growing your
Yeah.
OG Kush, right? What? Why?
Yeah. Like I want a
So
purpose, and so why not have a purpose
exactly.
and really walk with that purpose and get there, you know, and have a passion. So, and I appreciate you guys. I love sharing, chatting with everybody about cannabis today. Thank you all for being here again, and thanks chat for being here. We got a lot of people showing up today in chat. If you guys have any questions, please show them out this way. We want to make sure Darren gets to answer them for you today, because this is about Darren today. So,
Speaking of, let's hop into, Darren, you're about to say how you were growing, what kind of your methods were.
What I'm doing is I've been using tables, 4x8 tables, flood and drain. Been using Coco Core, the pyramids, the easy pyramids, easy plugs, easy blocks. And it's basically Coco Core and peat and that sort of stuff. And it's all compressed. And I like it, but it's expensive. And what I've been doing is I started growing with Rockwell hydroponically. And I'm feeding the plants every hour for 20 minutes, 30 minutes at a time right now on the tables in bud under 630 ceramic LED, not LEDs, 630 ceramic bulbs that I'm eliminating one light, one 600-watt bulb off of my table and saving power because I want to knock the power down. And growing with these 600 LEDs I got from Alias as well over a table and comparing them side by side. I've got high pressure sodium 600s on one table. I've got Alias 600 LEDs, and I've got 630 ceramics on the other one. So we're great side by each, as my Newfie heritage would say.
Wicked.
And we're seeing what it's doing. And to be honest, they all work really well. And if you're using nice brand new 600-watt high pressure sodiums, you're gonna fucking see results because you always see the best ones off the new bulbs. These aren't new bulbs, and they're giving them an honest try. And I find that the plants end up foxtailing more so off the 600 under those lights than I'm seeing over underneath the Alias LEDs or the ceramics. I'm finding they're foxtailing less that way. I'm using Remo nutrients. And I'm also using Green Planet because, as I was saying, I want to cut the cost down. And when I buy a batch of Remo nutrients, I spend some money on it. Not that it's not worth it, but I spend money on it. And the Green Planet is like under $100 for all 3 jugs. And, there's a lot more with the 7 jugs of the Remo. But I do believe I'm going to stick with the Remo because I see better results, better terpene profile, better taste, just the overall looking better. I've noticed from the Remo nutrients from the green compared to the Green Planet. So I'll probably be sticking with the Remo because I do like the quality of the Remo better.
Cool.
And that's how I'm growing. Yep. How I'm growing and what I'm growing. So yeah.
Exactly. Well, then I know a question that we were talking about before was at what point did you realize that the cannabis use could potentially have some like medical benefits?
Well, it was after I broke my back and all that kind of stuff. I got in some bad car accidents, and throughout my life, I've injured myself pretty good. So I've got, like right now, my shoulder, this thing is so fucking sore and the works and that's from, riding my bike for 10 days and using my muscles and tendons that I haven't used for so long. I ended up getting in a car accident and dislocating both my arms and both my legs. And like, I've really bashed myself up. I broke my neck on that one as well. And my wrist, and dislocated both arms, both legs on my motorbike. It was like I was a cartoon imprint on the side of a car in the highway there. So it was, and once I started, because like I was always a recreational user, But once I was injured like that, I got injured like that 1 year, and then the next year I got into another accident, got that, those injuries, broken back the first year. The second year was broken neck, dislocated everything. Like there was some serious healing. And during those times, I was really in good shape working out before I got in the accident. So I had a good base to kind of chew away at, that my body could eat at and absorb while I was healing. And I was taking a lot of fucking painkillers. And I was at the point of literally, like, I was at one point when I had my bike accident, I had a broken neck. I had no painkillers would work. I had my friend bring me up some heroin, and I'd fucking sniff a little fucking bump of heroin to get out of bed, because basically getting into a sitting position like I am in my chair like this right now, after dislocating both my legs and my arms, and with a broken neck and a broken wrist, was fucking like I was crying like a baby every time. So I was like literally down to sniffing fucking heroin to keep the pain away. And I didn't get addicted to it or not like that, but I did get the, 4 or 5 days of that. Your body's going to go through a bit of a withdrawal in your mental state, and you're going to feel bad about everything and yourself and all that. And it was just like, fuck, I don't like this shit. The painkillers don't do you no good. And I started eating it and like making butter. And it was like seriously medieval old school shit. We were just taking weed, taking butter, sauteing it for an hour, boiling it for an hour, straining it off the cheesecloth, and trying it out, and doing so much of it that I scared myself off of it for like 10 years because it fucking fucked me over. But I ended up finding out that this was better than the painkillers, because I didn't like the painkillers. Like, I always recreational kind of drugs forever of my whole life of anything, but I never got addicted to anything. And I was lucky that way. I guess I didn't have that addictive personality that a lot of people have, and I got lucky.
Very.
I did a lot of painkillers, and I just found that the painkillers didn't work as well. I had to sniff heroin to get that to work, and I wasn't going to be doing that forever. So it was like, get fucking high.
And the slew of side effects.
Oh my God, just the mental state that you can be in after sniffing for 3 or 4 days. You're like fucking, you're suicidal. You're fucking, everything's fucked. It's just a real bad ride.
Really? So do you want to go in? Do you want to go into that a little bit? Because I actually don't know what that would be like.
Like
like going into like what it felt like after that. Like you said, the state that you were in, like okay. So have you
suicidal?
Yeah, like so, like
everything's fucked. You feel like you're sick. Your body goes through fuck. You got runny nose. You're coughing. You're puking. You're shitting. It is gross. Once your body, basically your system shuts down a bit, and then when you start getting off of it, it fucking goes boom. I'm alive, and I got to have a shit right now, and I got everything. If you don't get
and this is only going on it for like 3 days.
This is a 3-4 day thing in a row. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just curious. Like, sorry for the dumb questions, but like,
well, it takes control of your body. And if you're doing pills, prescription pills, I seen it be harder on people kicking that one than heroin or anything else. Because there's something it's a different entity, a different monster.
I agree.
And I didn't get into, like, there was no fentanyl, carfentanil. The biggest ones were hydromorphine or something, where you're fucking, really fucking doing it. But I've seen prescription pills be a lot harder to kick than anything else, but I never had a problem doing it. Like, it was like, fuck, I'd get to a point where I'd be getting sick, and I'd just say, okay, well, I just get sick for a few days and ride it out and get off of it. Because
just a quick question, and you can answer this, or you don't have to. Kratom, are you up to talking about Kratom?
Never tried it.
Okay, I was just curious because we had this conversation about Kratom the other day, and I was wondering, well, hey, I wonder if Kratom would have helped you out in that scenario of I know it's like an opioid, and I know Zack knows a little bit about it.
I think he knows quite a bit.
Yeah, I know Zack, but we don't have to talk about kratom, and that's not the
Is that
subject
another
today. But I was just curious, but we will have another conversation about kratom another day, you guys, because there's a lot of interest. I've had a lot of people reach out. There's a lot of questions, and so there are some more people that want to know better about kratom. So we will have that conversation another day. I was just curious if Darren did. So back to Darren.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Thank
After your stomper of an edible experience, what brought you back to it? Where was the realization how much it was helping, as opposed to all these painkillers with this slew of side effects and just go
Well,
on.
I could do stuff. I could live my life without having to get out of bed and take painkillers and stuff. I've got friends right now that, with rheumatoid arthritis that I've fed copious amounts of all kinds of CBDs and THCs and edibles and everything into that cannot get out of bed without eating a handful of painkillers and going to work all day. Like they're literally, and it literally fucking dying from, they get the breastbone, they've got arthritis in, and it just fucking is in so much pain just from the breastplate. Like it's really sad. And some people just cannot get away with it and away from it and have to take the painkillers. So
that's what I see in men so often, and that they get angry. There's just this anger because of the pain, and so many people take it wrong, and so many people take it personal. And that's one thing as a woman I'm going to speak out about. If you are living with a man in pain out there, that does really affect your relationship, and it does. It's really hard on them, and we've got to really put ourselves in the shoes. If someone's in pain, men or women, it really can affect their mental state. And don't be so hard on them. Just give them a break. Just a little advice, right, guys?
yep.
That pain thing.
You're
So
vulnerable.
Yeah, it makes total sense, Tara. It's if they're lashing out at you, it's because they're suffering themselves.
yeah.
So if we can find compassion for that, it definitely makes things easier for sure. Not that it's it's hard, right? I mean, people could be super shitty sometimes, so
Also, no excuse.
difficult to deal with it.
And
Yeah,
it is
no,
no
you're right.
excuse,
At the end of the
but,
day, it is an excuse.
but
That's all it is. But
it is to realize it.
It's tough
and
to be human.
But not to bring it up at the point that they're having the problem, is maybe just to back off and then talk about it later. But one of you needs to realize it's happening. And if one of you realize that it's because of a pain, then the diagnosis is going to go undetected, and you guys are just going to end up mad at one another, or in any relationship, even with friends. You got to detect when they're having pain. You got to know their face. That's why video chat for me is so important. I can see people's facial expressions, and I know when someone's in pain. I used to do hair basically my whole life. I stood behind a chair. I worked with people. I looked in a mirror and I saw their face, and I knew if they liked what I was doing or not by their facial expressions. You had to know people. And I know you guys know every day in life you deal with people when you used to go out to your work or your job, and you would deal with people, and you look at their facial expressions to know how they're feeling and understanding them. And that's what I think we need to get back to on video chats. I think it's so cool that we're able to do this and reach out like this. And here I am with three guys from Canada. We're hanging out today on this fabulous Sunday, speaking with Dee. This is so freaking cool. I just love it. Did we totally get about talking your growing? Was there more about your growing you want to talk about? Did you want to talk about?
No, we were just covering what I figured out the use for medicinal for myself, and it just basically got me off painkillers that I didn't like doing and didn't like living in pain. And
Are you taking CBD too, Darren? Are you using full spectrum stuff, or what works for you?
Full spectrum, like
Yeah.
Yeah, what I grow, I smoke. The
Okay.
CBD stuff and all that. I've I have lots of anxiety in that at times, and CBD supposedly takes that anxiety away and that sort of stuff. You dab it and everything. And I think in the beginning the placebo effect of that did its toll and did its job, but I'm not too sure on the actual isolation of it and it doing everything for you but getting you high. I'm skeptical on it. I'd like to see it proven in tests that are like actual tests, not just people like us saying, yeah, it works. In the beginning, I kind of used this stuff as a crutch to get myself a legal license to grow
Well,
weed.
there
But
actually
then-
there are tests that are out there.
Excellent.
And
Well,
yeah,
put
there
the
are.
little
You know,
things up.
Ethan Russo, you know, there's a lot of tests that he did. There's a lot of studies that he brought out that we spent with I got to hang out with him at the Hive, and he brought in a lot of that stuff. Unfortunately, I cannot quote you all what Ethan Russo
Mhm.
knows because man, that man is amazing. So I don't really want to get into quoting or if like CBD. I loved sharing your personal experience, and I think that's the best that we can share from, rather than just saying, hey, we need to go check out studies. Like that would be the best thing, is rather than to quote, well, we think it works for this or we think it works for that. Just sharing our own personal experience, and then let people go out and get their own information. We're just wanting to give your information and let you go and give and find it and do your own research. Don't just do it because we're talking about it today. Do your own research before you go out and try anything. That's what I really would really want to recommend. And 710, welcome to the chat
everybody.
here today.
How's it going?
Hey, bud.
Welcome,
Cheers. I
welcome.
finally got caffeinated, so
Hey,
now I'm here.
I haven't even finished my one cup. Been talking so much with Darren, y'all, and thanks everybody for joining us in chat. We've got great people showing up today. So if you got any questions, throw them out there. We're talking with Darren, D420K. What's the next one? Anybody got a question, or you want me to go? I'm ready to go.
Fire away.
How about, when did you first grow? What year and how old you were, and what did you grow and where?
Okay. Probably 90, no, 87, 89. Threw some seeds out, grew some plants. It was a ruderalis cross, so it would grow in Prince George weather. Like you could have frost on it, it'd still live because it's pretty much a hemp plant. But a guy up here crossbred and did a whole bunch of neat stuff. We call him Super Dave. And he's an individual that has a lot of information that doesn't know how to use a computer or access information from a computer. He's got all this stuff his whole life through books and readings and experience. And he's almost annoying because he has such an ego and way about him that he rubs the wrong way a lot, that he did these breedings and gave me some seeds and I grew them and they were really cool and everything like that. But you know, I had literally you plant 10 plants, or here you have a wine cellar in your house, a little 4x4 fucking room or something like that. And you're going to put 4 or 5 plants down there, grow them in dirt under a fucking bulb and think you're actually going to make some money. That's how it was, right? Like it was 4 plants in a closet that were like, holy fuck, I'm going to get rich, man. We're going to buy a skidoo. We're going to buy a jet boat, you know, all this shit. And it's like, fuck, I get like a fucking half ounce of weed in total at the end of it for 4 months of growing. And I cut it down early because it started looking frosty and it didn't burn, but we fucking smoked it anyways because we didn't give a shit. We smoked oil that was made out of all your roaches in a jar that sat in isopropyl or alcohol for a month or two, and everything was dark as hell, and it was $25 a bottle cap back then. Yeah, and we bought it all fucking day, sold it all day too. Like we didn't give a shit. That was the first grows, those ones. Very weak.
I would not have lasted back then. Thank God for you all that taught me concentrates.
Oh
yeah, the honey oil used to come in the little beer caps.
Oh yeah,
that shit,
and
man.
it was no honey oil. It was fucking skag. It was dark.
That's what they called it. They called it the
green.
honey oil.
Yeah, yeah. And then you're doing the bots, the bottle tokes, right? You fucking get a beer bottle, you bang a fucking nickel around in and make a hole, and you put it's fucking hilarious. But we survived that shit, right? Survived it. I got a honey oil story for you later on as we go, but yeah, that was the first grows were just big fucking expectations and huge fucking disappointments all the way around.
You can go on the honey oil. Go for it.
Well, the honey oil thing, there we'd make good honey oil, but there was a guy that made it in Kelowna that he'd bring this stuff over and it looked like he literally had canola oil on the paper and it would just make it almost transparent, and it was so fucking strong. It would just those are the first times when I smoked all those types of things that I greened out, that I was like, fuck, I had to crawl to my room and just lay on my bed because it was just, what the fuck happened? And then the next day I'm like, holy fuck, man, how do you do that? And it's a big fucking secret. And that's why I hate secrets with this industry, right? I fucking hate the fucking secrets. But
so many secrets.
Yeah. And I was just like, tell me. And I had to give the guy an ounce of weed to get like a gram of this stuff back. And, he'd keep some too. And, just a fucking circle of fuckery that I didn't appreciate and I didn't like. And finally one day I just said, how about fuck you? Get the fuck out of here. I don't want to fucking even look at your fucking head. You piss me off. We're friends. You fucking want to dangle a carrot in front of a donkey? Well, I'm going to fucking kick you. Expect to be treated wrong, like accordingly, I guess, is what you're treating me. And he was like, okay, I'll tell you. And he told me, and what it was literally the big fucking secret, the big tip and trick was all the tools you're using, the bowls, the spoons, the strainers, the material, the liquid, everything needs to be in a freezer for 48 hours, 24 hours beforehand, a quick rinse. Don't let it sit in a bag forever and get the chlorophyll out and everything like that. Let it rinse. The freeze will keep that chlorophyll in. It will help the isopropanol wash it off. This, and it was like, wow. It was then it was another step. It was crazy. And then I ended up meeting the Butter King at an event after that, and they were making the shatter, like it was like shards or whatever. They accidentally whipped it up one day and made butter, and was like, holy fuck. And so it went from isopropanol stuff to the butane into the butter and then the hashes. And it was just literally the freezing the material was all the secret was. And that was how medieval we still were back then, and how much information a lot of us didn't have. And the ones that had the information were fucking hoarding it like fucking pricks.
That's still the big secret to good cannabis, eh?
It is.
Freezing cold temperatures and good herb.
And but Darren, you just sharing that today, you don't know how many people you've probably helped out, just maybe in illegal areas, right? We still have several places that aren't legal. We've got to remember there's that red area out there that people still don't have access to this in so many areas, even it's just in the United States and just throughout Canada. They don't have dispensaries they can go down to. They don't have access to all this stuff. So any hints that you can throw out also to red states as we go along, or red areas that might help them, maybe that's a whole another show on its own, Yeah,
I think that's another show on its own without incriminating myself and participant in, crimes.
Yeah. Back in the day, things that you heard of that someone might have done, not necessarily you.
Yeah. Asking for a friend.
That'd be fun.
I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Yeah.
No way, baby. Let's see. Where do you guys have a question? I don't want to hog the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, I know Darren loves his OGs and the Kushes and stuff, but what's your favorite sativa? If you had to choose one for the rest of your life, what would you do? What would you pick?
Congo.
There you go.
Congo.
Yeah, hands down, nice and easy choice.
Man.
Yeah,
no problem.
I'm right there with you.
From the flower to the concentrate, whether you're using fucking butane, fucking entane, isopropanol, water, heat, pressure, dry sit, whatever. Congo, fucking wow.
Yeah,
tried it.
It's so unique, right? That profile is so
crazy.
Different than like
it's racy.
a million other things.
Give you anxiety. If you do it too much, then you're gonna go out. It's like, whoa, hold on a second.
I like that
Just love
shit
that
though, man.
go
Fuck
out.
yeah,
Heart
get her
racing.
going.
Yeah, it's like, are you sure you want to go out? You know, it's
Fuck yeah.
It's like, fuck, maybe I shouldn't.
Maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah,
It's so
Just
safe
a couple
at home.
OG dabs, and then you're good to go. And on your way out you go.
sometimes I stay home. Sometimes I just venture out. Depends
True
on
enough.
how important it is that I leave the house.
So, Darren, are you growing the Congo?
No,
How come?
I don't like growing things that take a long time to farm.
On good
Good
things,
things take time. Yeah.
Yep. But I do know enough guys that are growing it and that have the concentrates that when I do want it, I can acquire it.
There you go.
And, the one thing I didn't like about it is it didn't rosin very good.
Oh, really?
Most sativas are not, the flower anyways, just don't produce as much as I've noticed the other ones.
I've definitely seen the opposite with Congo, especially. It's generally like 20 to 25% returns on rosin, on flower rosin at least.
Maybe I'm getting one confused with another, but I do know
It's such a terpy.
It is fucking.
Well,
Yeah, such a
I think
terpy strain.
I think it's also kind of like what you grow it with. It's such a hungry plant, and I think it's very picky. I think that I've seen it go really well in regenerative soil. A 710 can speak for that. So maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. It'd be interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
For sure it does.
From my experience, I've found that like in the organics, well, at least the organics that I've ran it in, it hasn't been able to like completely reach its full potential. In the salts though, it's able to just take everything. Like we're feeding it, we're feeding it 5 times a day, and we're getting about 1,400 ppm around there. It can definitely take more, but that would actually burn the other plants. So kind of got to find that happy medium. It's just one of those pig plants, just eats.
Yeah, and I mean, there's just many different ones as well too, right? Like it may not be the same Congo, so maybe you've just got a specific one that
for sure,
flavor that just didn't happen to yield too well because it's everything's so unique in this industry.
Yep. Vision Creator in chat is saying Congo crossed to Kandahar Black coming up. He just got his Kandahar Black back from I think it was Bodhi. It's the old school Kandahar. Very excited for that one.
Yes.
Very cool. And I know you'll keep us posted. Very, very excited. Hey guys, if you want to check out 710, follow along, hashtag free Robert Street Congo. All of those on Instagram. Reach out to people because it's getting out to several states and provinces. And if it's legal in your area, maybe somebody can get you a cut because hopefully we can get it out to a lot of people because we like it. And we want to do Vision Creator a little thing to leave behind.
We gotta spread this thing. It's some of the best medicine I've found for pain. For energy, just when you're in pain all the time, like you guys were saying earlier, when you're in pain all the time, you're just always tired, and it just wears on everything, right? It just wears on your patience, wears on your attitude, just everything. With the Congo, I mean, it just gets me going, like it's like a cup of coffee. Get up and start moving. You don't want to not move when you're on Congo.
Exactly.
But I'm working on some S1s of the Congo right now. Trying to get those out to people where we can't send
I'm thinking Darren needs one to try again.
Yep.
It's not another ball rip or some more
A Congo.
Both.
Let's do it.
Do a ball rip. Once I'd give it another 5-10 years in my bubble, and I will have a setup that I can have a room of Congo where it's 4 or 5 nice big plants of that. Because I don't like growing a whole bunch of different cultivars in the same room because I find
it's hard.
Well, each thing has its own energy, its own wanting its own feeding levels and everything, and you can't just throw one in with all of it. You might as well have a separate reservoir for each one.
Well,
And,
yeah, exactly.
you know, and that's fine, but even them touching each other, being in the same profile of the terpenes in the room and everything like that can change it a little bit. And I'd just love to have a room of Congo, a room of you know, that old school hash plant that that I haven't seen in years. Like, I'd love to fucking.
How about not a room, but an acre?
Well, you know what? No, for myself.
How about a greenhouse? Where's your greenhouse? Let's think big here, man.
My greenhouses are outside, but I'm
maybe
do the
maybe
greenhouse.
someone wants to sponsor Darren a Congo greenhouse or something.
Oh, no way. It's a lot of work because I do I'm myself. I do it myself. I have people that come in and help me trim, and I have a friend that comes in and helps me leaf pick when I want to thin the leaves out. And that's it. I do everything myself, and it's a lot of work.
Just curious, for the Congolese that you're talking about, what's the flower time you're thinking on it?
14 weeks.
Okay, there you go. And then for the Roberts Creek 710, you were saying it's roughly around there, 13 to 15 or whatever.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one. I mean, it's the one that that Bubble Man had, Johnny B had, pretty much, you know, all the.
I had it.
Darren had it. It went all over the West Coast.
Yeah.
Kevin Jodry now has it in Humboldt.
And now we're spreading it all across Canada.
And so does most of the people at the Regenerative Conference at the Humboldt.
And there was some real sore feelings about sharing that one too.
Yeah, there definitely was. I mean, it's that old school mentality, right? There's
I get it.
There's a market, right?
I totally get it, man. And you know, you can also go into, you know, the reasons being of what the person that acquired that cultivar went through to get it here in those days, in those times of serious prohibition and that sort of stuff, where you know, the person does deserve the respect and that sort of thing. I get it.
Yep.
But you know, sharing is caring.
Exactly.
That's what we said back then, and I maintain that. And you know.
Yeah, I mean, since back in those days, Vision Creator has actually given it out to plenty of people to actually, with the caveat that you have to give it out to other people. So he's forcing it out into the world now. Like people are getting it.
Yes, they are, because it's an amazing plant. Unfortunately, I did kill mine off. I did not keep mine, but I did get a cut to Kevin Jodry, so it did get down there to Humboldt. And I had russet mites. I wasn't going to deal with russet mites, you know, and I showed a picture on Instagram about russet mites. I don't have russet mites right now. That was last year I had russet mites. This year I did not take any clones in, knock on wood. I don't have them as of right now, but I just barely started flowering on some of my plants. So it's normally in flowers later when I notice them. So don't know yet, but I think I got them because I took in clones. I think they came in on clones, and it's my own fault. I'm not mad at the person that gave them to me. It's my own fault because I kept them myself. So we all have to remember, check those clones if you're taking in clones. I believe russet mites come in clones, and watch out, guys. They're coming your way. They're everywhere, and they're little. So
careful,
back
everybody.
to chatting about Darren. Enough about russet mites. Good God.
Just want to shout out Johnny B in chat too.
Oh, do we have Johnny? Hi, Johnny B.
Johnny.
We can throw the link out to Johnny B if he'd like to jump on and hang out. I'm sure he's got backstories to tell about Darren.
Oh yeah,
I recruit.
So
go ahead. What Johnny did for me.
Go for it. Yeah, I'd love to hear that.
Me and Johnny met at Mark's house, BC Bubble Man, and introduced me to the dry sift. Until that moment, the Bud Buster collections were fucking gold to me. I would go to my buddies' houses and see how much they'd have in their bud buster and say, how much you want to sell them? I'll buy $25 a gram off you, no problem. They're scraping it fucking out with fucking right now. They're clean. And I'm going home. I got little film containers full of all this bud buster keef, farmer's grade fucking keef, contaminated fucking keef, big time. But fucking loved it.
So good, right?
Oh, it was so good.
It was so good.
So good.
Sorry, the last bong rip.
Gotcha. Got you good.
But Johnny filled a bowl up with a very little amount of what I thought looked like keef. And then he put the fucking flame to it off the wick, off the hemp wick. And I watched it melt into a puddle in the bowl, bubble up, and the fucking taste was like never before. And and the high was fucking bar none. It was fucking unbelievable. And I was like, I need to fucking know how to do that. And between Mark and John, I sent them pictures, videos for the next 2 months of sifting these piles of keef that I had. And I was only doing it with the iTunes card. In my first videos on YouTube, you can see those. And that's where I didn't actually discover it. It was a fluke, and someone else discovered what I was doing. And that was the static tech. So as one end of the card was collecting the heads, the other side of the card was collecting the contaminant. That's where the static tech came into play. And another guy, Mies McCallman, off of YouTube, he sent us a video of him doing it with a DVD or a game case wrapped in parchment and getting a huge thick line of fucking heads and not then leaving contaminant behind. And we were like, holy fuck. And then that stepped the game up. But for 2 months, I was sending him videos and pictures, and it was like, no, it sizzles, but you're not there yet. Like, it was like fucking disappointment after disappointment. I think I'd get it at 3 a.m. I'm fucking messaging these guys, waking up the whole fucking family. Check this out. Look at this. Nope, sizzles. Nope. Fuck. And then one day it worked. I could feel it under the card. I could feel the difference. And I did it. And they were like, yep, you got her. And it went from there. That's when Mark come up and did a video on how I do mine, and with the static tech on that.
Now, would you say that was it the product, or was it the way you were doing it that you could feel the difference?
Well, with any of the products, you can feel the difference. Because once you've got the keef out, the contaminant, and you've just got the heads, it's like sand. It's just like sand.
Oh yeah, I just want you to illustrate that for everyone, which is perfect. That was a great way to.
It feels like you got sand underneath because of the heads it's just heads. That's it. There's nothing cushioning it, making it soft and fluffy. Just heads.
And Johnny's throwing a tip in chat. He says, take time to find the melty strain head. Johnny's going to be joining us shortly. So come on, Johnny, check your DMs.
There are definitely cultivars that don't produce much hash and don't produce that fucking resin that melty, beautiful shit. But that could be a lot of the grower too, because I feel that a lot of the
and if you don't, just like Dragonfly says, if you don't grow cultivars in your area, that's a big thing. You need to grow what is in your sunshine in your area. If you're growing outdoors, you can mix that. If you're indoors, you're a little different. It's a whole different story. Hey, Johnny, welcome. How are you today?
Hello.
Oh, he's trying to get his headset fixed. Give him a minute. Get him it. Oh, darn it. Did we not check it? Check it. Check. Check. Ask to unmute. Ask to unmute. Check your mic on there. See if you're.
Yeah.
There you are. I hear you.
First bounce is awesome.
Yeah, there you are. I hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear
It's
you.
through the computer, so it'll sound really bad on YouTube for the playback. So I got to get the headphones.
So good. Go down to the bottom, down there on the very bottom, and go to your little arrow.
Oh, there it came up.
Yep, click your arrow. You got it. We'll give him just a minute to get set up.
And I started looking for a screen to actually smoke some of that sif that Darren talks so much about, which is basically my medicine. I love it so much. It's what we always talk about, Darren. It's great listening to you talk about that time you calling me all the time. You're like, Johnny. I'm like, Johnny. I'm like, I felt like my hands were in the air too. Like, Johnny, wait. And I go just a little, and it was actually, and it takes art too. It's actually, you don't want to press too hard because then you're going to melt it too quickly. It's just that you have to have that right pressure, and you just got to, it's like an artist in anything that you do. And Darren became the dry shift general for the work that he put into it. He just didn't go in a little bit like, oh, okay, no, all in. Like we're talking pounds and weeks and just going in, just like he was saying. But
and the time.
I mean, I got lucky because of my strain Medi Kush. It was just that perfect strain. It just melted so quickly. We did that 40-minute clean. We did a video with Mark in the beginning. It was in Melty when it was in 2012. It came out in December 2012.
Was that your first bounce method as well, Johnny?
That came later in like about 2013, 2014 when I decided to start trimming over top of these screens. And I'm like, wow, that just melted even with no work.
Yeah. It was an accident, eh?
It was an accident. That's how I'm like, that's just saved me hours. That's the way I looked at it. And that's where first bounce came into play. Like, but when you have that keef, when you have that contaminant, if you have the screens, if you have the 60, the 90, the 120, the 200, you're able to actually get through a lot of it first. And then when you get into now with the static tech that we actually learned, like I said, through Mez, remember he sent that video to us and he dated it. And we're just like, diamonds and gold from bags of swag. That's one of the videos I did right away. And it was just like, wow, I could take all of this swag and get these little diamonds, and it was gold in the bowl. So I was like, hey, diamonds and gold from bags of swag. That's how that name came to, actually. Yeah. It was pretty cool. But it was quite that sifting journey that we've been on, Darren. Like really, like just kind of like pounding away.
Yep.
Moving forward.
There's another method out there that we've gone down the rabbit hole over and over and
Everybody
over.
has. I think the world's gone down.
Maybe one day we'll be fortunate enough to figure it out, but it seems the ones that have even acquired it are holding on to it and don't want to share it.
Well, we know it's the sound separation with some static, with some vibration, with hertz and generations between the three. Yeah, we don't even know anymore.
And you know what? We're not going to go down that hole today.
I want to talk about that right now. I do know one thing.
That fucking really goes on for a month, and fucking then we're off.
Yeah, then we go on to.
I don't know. Okay, so I just have to share this. It's obviously on people's mind. I have 24,873 views.
Good job.
This crazy video.
Because this is like that's more views than any video I have.
Look at that. I have static tech.
Yeah.
There you go. So we went down that stupid rabbit hole. Johnny sent me down that darn rabbit hole, and it was crazy.
We've all gone down that.
I'll take blame for that too. No problem.
Hey, I did the balloon. This is how it came to you, because I was sitting there on top of a red Solo cup with a hertz meter beside it, and I started doing one of these, and I was like, "Whoa!" I just pulled heads out. I was like, "What the fuck happened?" That was the day before 420. Wasn't it? Or a week before 420?
Something like that.
Then we had that. Yeah, something like that. And that was just me playing with my red Solo cup that's around here somewhere, with a balloon stretched over top of it, with a speaker beside it, and using different hertz and just looking at things. And then I was using the balloon because people talk about static, and I heard about noise, and I've just heard about all these different things. And then we all went down the slotty plate hole, and then we went down we went into some stuff from 1649, and then we went into the bowl. Oh, just
fucking the pygmy tribes and separating bee pollen, fucking every fucking.
Well, that was a good one too, wasn't it? Yeah.
You could think of.
And then but Gastown
stick. Remember the stick?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah, the stick, and then there's the magic wand. And
Magic
Gastown's girl came up with this awesome little idea that was kind of more like a sliding plate that added frequency to a. It was like we were all kind of like, okay, how can we do this? Next thing you know, and I don't know what happened with Rare
But
7.
in the end, it takes a lot of product, a really
Oh
good
yeah, I
quality
can't do it. I don't
product
have the
to
product.
get
Well,
the best type of thing to do it, right? Go ahead, Darren.
Here's the thing. After making dry sift for months and months and acquiring 10 grams, maybe, you know, like a nice chunk. Let's say fucking 40 grams to fucking really fucking make it, you know, worth it. But 40 fucking grams out of everything that you're doing for like I'm 2 months was just getting to fucking find some that were full melt. Then it was using the rest to fucking, okay, months. It was like,
Oh yeah, it's a long
what would you
time.
sell a gram for? What would you sell a gram of that dry sift for, D? And I stopped and I looked at my friend and I said, I wouldn't.
That's why I call it the $500 dab. You get a
You
dab for
cannot.
$500.
You cannot make it. You cannot make it. Everybody that I've tried to teach only lasts an hour, 2 hours. You got to do it's not done yet. I'm like, dude, fuck, man, you got to understand. I did this for 2 months with my buddies fucking slamming the door on me. Nope, go home. Nope, eat it. Get nothing. Nope. Sizzly. Kind of looks nice, but no. And the yes. Like, fuck, man, you got to want it. And I've never met anybody that I've tried to teach that could stick it out to want it that bad.
You know, after rosin came about, I'm sorry, like it's just rosin for me. Like that's why I didn't go down. That's why I stopped after that video. I'm like, you guys, I don't even like the product. I'm like, I'm wasting this time for like stuff that I don't even want. I want rosin. Like I love and bubble hash. I'm smoking bubble hash rosin today too.
I feel that you don't like the product because you haven't had.
Well, it's not that I don't like it. Excuse me. Let me back up. Let me back up. It's not that I don't like it. It's that there's not enough of it. You don't get enough of it. That I would just rather take the time to. I don't want to spend the time to get that small amount. I would rather just rosin it. It's not. It's the effort for me. Well, so I have to say I'm one of those that I don't want to stick it out, Darren. So I would rather just rosin it. And that's why I'm thank God rosin came along and House Church came along because that's who showed me.
You know what's awesome?
Yeah.
Oh, so DK, you want to say something?
I was just gonna just kind of agree with Darren a little bit there on the point he was trying to get through, and that's a lot of people that have tried the dry sift. You know, it's to actually get the 99.99. It's very few and far between. I've never experienced it. I don't think personally. So
yeah, like it's
kind of special.
Everything that I've seen that I've met other people through or that I inspired to do this stuff with at some of these 420 events in Vancouver and that, they'd bring me some or they'd have some dry sift that they thought was the full melt fucking deal. And, you know, they'd give me a gram or I'd even buy a gram for $70, $60, whatever, because I respect the fucking grind. I respect the work and the artist behind it. So, but I never actually had anything that full melted except the stuff that I got sent to me from he has a strawberry banana kush as well. He's from Canada.
Freshman?
No. Mark has a lot of his strawberry banana, quite a bit, and he talks about him a lot. I fucking don't know why I'm not remembering his name. Would love
okay, you gotta do bong.
Has he been on House Church?
No. I believe so. Maybe once or twice.
I met him I know who you're talking about.
What's his name, Johnny?
I can't think right now.
Johnny, what the hell are you doing?
I'm looking for a screen so I can smoke some damn hash.
Like, what the hell
damn
are
it.
you doing?
It's like I just got some, melty stuff right here.
You got it.
I'm like, you know what? Zack sent me some screens, didn't you? And like, or somebody did. And I'm like,
dude, I just ordered a whole case of them. Damn it! I
like,
wish
I'm
I
so
was
sick of
there.
running out of
Wish I could
screens. It's
pass
really
them to
bad.
you. I have a
Yeah,
whole
that's an
case.
annoying problem to have for sure.
I can't do a bond. Oh, well, whatever. Here, I got an
Let
old
the guy in
school. So
Toronto-
this is just.
Water
It
everywhere.
looks bad. Okay, so
Wanna
it looks
drop
bad.
the
So I
tray.
got this pipe. It's my go-to hash pipe. It works. It's like, boom, right there. Little pressed out hash. You know how we like to do it. Now I need a lighter. Probably not gonna find one of those either. Oh, beeline. So
There's
the best
always
thing
one
is
in the
about if
grow
you don't
room.
have that melty hash and how a lot of the rosin thing came along, guys, and stuff like that. If you don't really know really the story of this and stuff, is it first came down to making the hash, and then we would press out this hash. And Tony Ventura from Cannabis, he started using a hair straightener, and he would start straightening it and pulling it out. So we started pulling taffy with this. You, me, Mark, Darren, we were all doing this.
Oh
And
yeah.
where Soil Grown Sal came into play, that's why we love hash so much. He's the one who used his wife's curling iron. It wasn't really doing a really good job.
He did it with a t-shirt press. It was a t-shirt.
No, t-shirt press came after.
Guys,
Came
it's
after,
not
totally
a
after.
curling iron. It's a flat iron.
No, well, we had the flat iron. He had a curling iron. It was a little bit different from what I remember Paulie talking about. And because it wouldn't squish it out, he left it too long. Resin started coming out the top, and it was just something he'd never seen before, which is like completely amazingly awesome. Because he was trying to make stuff that wasn't melty melt by trying to squish it and pull it out. So it's just like with Mez with the static dry sift, just it all revolves, keeps moving forward and forward with you guys, and we're hoping that someone will come up with that next little trick, right? So, and it really just came down to is getting that hash that doesn't really melt. That's kind of like this. That's really good grade, but you don't want to clean it. You can press it out. Once you press this out, guys, it becomes fire. Okay, now I gotta look for beeline. I'm unprepared here. I'm sorry.
Well, that's
Can I be
okay.
back
We're
again?
gonna be here for a minute. We're gonna go ahead. You're good. No big deal. We're hanging out. We're having some fun. We're having a sesh with Darren today. This is really fun hanging out. D420K. If you don't all know, go follow him on Instagram. And we already put his links out earlier. We'll put some more links out for you. I'll also I should bring up his YouTube channel as well on here and show you guys his page. I could show you his page off for a little bit here.
So that kind of tripped me out earlier when you were talking about you were on that movie Shooter, and I was like, "What?" I was like, are you? Damn!" And then I looked on you have a fucking IMDb, and you were on other movies too, weren't you? You were on geez, what was it? Can't remember. Dreamcatcher.
What are
You're muted,
nice.
Darren, you're muted.
Yeah, you're muted, Darren. Yeah, that's that Stephen King movie, right?
He just took a rip. Give him a minute.
Yeah,
right in the middle of the bong rip.
Let's demand you talk right now.
Tell us now.
Talk. Oh,
all right, I guess no plug for you. On to the next one.
Shooter. I got a speaking role in, which is really cool. And I did my own stunts. I got shot and did my own falls and stuff. And did some stunt work in that. And then Reindeer Games, I was an extra in a jail that I served time in. Already. Yeah. And then it was Dreamcatcher, and we got to blow a lot of shit up and roll cars and fucking smash shit up. It was really fucking cool. Really cool.
Awesome.
All the explosions and everything you see, all the stunts, the big stunts and that I was a part of in one way or another. I wasn't doing the stunts, but I was setting stuff up. I was the only guy there that was allowed to be. I had to be there with the chainsaw. Well, I was the only one that was allowed to be as close as I was. Then there was the paramedics and the explosives crew.
If you can
stand there and get ready to cut trees down in case a forest fire started, and I had to start dropping shit.
Okay.
Right? But yeah, some really cool times with that stuff in the movie industry.
Through all those movies, did you still continue your with your cannabis use and keep that just on a constant, and it was just part of your stuff, or is that something where you'd have to refrain from your use?
Oh no, you know what? It's an industry. I believe that you can truly be yourself.
Beautiful.
You want to be yourself. It's just what my feelings are, right? Maybe there's a lot of people that, look at this fucking Epstein shit and this pedophile fucking shit in the industry and the Hollywood stuff of maybe if I was to be fucking, you know, put in a position like some of those people where I'd have been somewhere or something. I don't know, but I don't know what all that shit kind of did, but I was never involved in it when I was young. It was just a thing my buddy told me, hey, try this out. I went down to hang out with my buddy, and he was doing a bunch of stuff, and he was going for an audition, and I ended up beating him out of the audition by just going in there and reading the lines. Never did it before, right? I scared the fuck out of everybody in the room. This is how his agent told him that is how I got the part, because I scared everybody.
They're like, this guy's the real McCoy. We need him.
Well,
He's really going to go out there and cause some.
Here's the thing behind the director. His name's Antoine Fuqua. He's that one show Training Day where they're, you know,
My favorite
Bloods and the Crips and everything. This guy likes the real deal people in his movies. And that one scene, well, that whole movie was there's actual fucking Crips and Bloods and their neighborhood and that sort of stuff in it. And the guy wanted some extras in this movie, and he asked my buddy to, because he knew my buddy's background was a bit fucking. Me and my buddy did some crazy shit in the day.
No,
and
really, Darren?
He fucking was like, I know a guy that looked like a gang member and can look tough or whatever like that, and he phoned me up. He said, come down, check it out. So I did, and then he said, and then he was like, go in and read these lines, just check it out. When I did it, they come out of their fucking chairs at me so fast, I was like ready to block them type thing, like have a hug or something. And then it was the audition in front of the like 4 or 5 people, producers, directors, money people, and all that kind of stuff. And he was like, you're the guy that
They didn't make $1 million.
Or what's that?
They didn't pay $1 million.
Oh fuck no. They did pay me good, don't get me wrong. But they were like, you know, he's like, you're the guy that's never acted before. Let's see if you can take some direction, he says. Let's do it a little meaner, do it a little nicer, put a little body movement in it. And I did all these things, and he's like, because he knew that I had a background of maybe being a bad guy in some situations, he says, let's just pretend this was real life. He said, well, how would you handle this situation? And I just took charge right away. I said, okay, take the person out of the chair and put them on their knees on the floor, pan the camera down on them, because I'm going to get close in within striking distance of this person so that they comply with everything I say to them. And they just kind of all just looked at me like, okay. And said, action. And I fucking just looked at the person, and I started moving towards them. I got down close so I could talk right close to their ear instead of away from them. And before I got to him and said my lines, the hands were just like, they started shaking. And I said my lines, and I stood back, and they just fucking were like, oh, okay, man, we'll be calling you back. And fucking, I got the part. And that's when my buddy told me that his agent told him later on that he got beat out of the part by me, his bro, because I literally scared the shit out of everybody in the room.
That's an incredible story, man. Wow.
It was very cool, man. It was pretty neat.
Hash rip.
Yeah, let's do another bong rip. Fuck, let's get her in. Very cool experience.
I just heated up. Cheers, everyone.
Very cool experience. Treated very well. Got to meet some cool people.
And all just by being you.
When was your first grow?
Myself.
We already went over that, Johnny. You missed it.
I missed it. Sorry.
Damn it. That was a good question, though. Nice try.
I want to ask that question.
Another one, Johnny. Go ahead.
I don't care anymore. I know everything else. I you know what? I talk to Darren every day. Like pretty much.
What's Darren's least favorite cultivar?
He likes all weed. Just pretty much.
There's one that he's.
But he'll still smoke it if that's all you got, right? So it's all good. It's like we're. No.
I'd rather not smoke if it's not good.
No.
There's a lot of ones I don't like. It's got to be quality. I'm a spoiled fucking brat.
We're brats.
I grow my own weed, so I know what good
weed
weed
snobs.
It's I
likes the kush.
apologize to people.
Just ask all the Jamaicans when I went to freaking Jamaica, man. They were like showing me this stuff. I'm like, dude, I grow. You can't show me that shit.
Well, the stuff in Jamaica is pretty swaggy.
It is.
It's everywhere.
Bad.
I don't care where, anything and everything I saw in Jamaica, except for the one bud that I got that was growing indoors hydroponically like I do it in my backyard, was killer. But everything else was that. It was kind of like, it was Jamaican weed. It was just cool. It was honored to be able to smoke it and get those flavors. But that's why they walk around and roll them like thumbs, and there's always one hanging out of their mouth, because he really needed to smoke that much.
Yeah. Very true.
I've never seen so many old guys smoking so much ganja. It was pretty awesome. But the Rastafarians and going into some of these houses in the back with Mark, and they had the bands in the background. Just everybody just solid. You know?
Yeah, they are. And the girls, they're all roll. They roll. I did notice that was.
And they all just roll. It's always in their hand. It's always just right in their hand. Just
yeah.
It's pretty cool to be there and see that.
So Darren, what about maybe what's one of your, are you a reader? Do you like to read? How do you like to consume? Like, how do you like to consume literature, learn, and like maybe what's someone you look up to now and you're currently reading, or maybe something about that?
Yeah, where you get
and
your
you're muted,
now?
by the way. You're muted. Darren, you're muted. Darn it.
My favorite author is Louis L'Amour. I have a huge collection of Louis L'Amour. They're all about the old days, the old Western days. Basically, one thing I found out about it that I didn't like was the original white supremacy guys in jail. What's that there, DK?
Some roasted almonds from a little local shop called Sweet Hoopla. I didn't mean to railroad the conversation. I just got a gift from my buddy.
You're showing me
delicious.
Oh, I bet it looks good. But they call them there's a thing they say in the book from the Sackett's collection of Louis L'Amour, the Sackett stories. These are all stories of first settlers that come to North America and had to, build a fort and walls and fight off the natives and the local natives that were there. And like this before Christopher Columbus or after or whatever. And total fights for survival and, really cool shit that I liked. And then another thing of they never, if there was a brother across the fucking country that was in trouble, the whole family come together. And if anybody heard of the Sackett collection or any of that sort of stuff, it's like these things are really, they meant shit to me, but what they've meant to these white supremacy groups that formed in jail originally. And I just seen this on a documentary recently, and it didn't sit with me good because I have nothing like that in me, but it was the brand, the Sackett brand. And it was, you never left your brother behind. You never fucking ratted, it's just the hardcore fucking old school mentality of the way. And that's how they based their stuff on, was the brand. And that was weird to me, but because if it was Louis L'Amour, if he was still alive, he'd be fucking absolutely appalled by it. But he just had a way of telling stories about the old lands and finding gold and being injured and
Three brothers, was it?
A native tribe helping you out and giving you, letting their medicine heal you and bringing you back to life, and then you going back and avenging your fucking situation or taking what was yours that they tried to take already and left you for dead. There's just so many stories, and it's all about a struggle of survival and some sort of plight that you've got to endure through. And the only way you're going to endure through it is fucking by punching through, man, slugging through, another foot in front of the other, going through it because there's no stopping. And my biggest one in my life that taught me kind of some of the shit mentality that I had growing up, or still have in some ways, is Conan the Barbarian. I've got collections of his comic books. I always felt that because he was always, you know, fighting off these demons from other universes and galaxies and fucking dimensions, monsters on top of monsters, and dudes that were bigger than them than ever. And if he could just fucking get his sword to him, he could fucking get it. You know, if it bleeds, it'll die type shit. And it just kind of gave me the mentality of, you know, start fucking swinging, man. You never know till you fucking hit them. And when you hit them and they started fucking falling down, because, you know, I was in grade 3 and I had to ride the special bus to Nanaimo from Ladysmith to go to the school that I was.
Is that the short bus?
Yes.
The short bus they call it?
Yes.
I always.
And it was.
Yes,
with
I understand that. I have a special feeling for those people, and like, yeah, they get bullied.
Let me tell you a couple of stories about this bus, because there was adult handicapped people that went to this work that they did sewing and stuff like that to this company. And it also took some kids to other schools, some handicapped, some not. I wasn't handicapped, but I had to ride this bus. Now, grade 3, I'm in this bus and I'm getting out. Now, do you think I was called any names or picked on or anything like that? Well, I was. And I literally had to fight every fucking recess, every lunch, every day. And the mentality of this, and it was, you know, when a kid gets punched in the face, the fight's over pretty much. When you're in grade 2, grade 3, all that sort of shit. Back then I was fighting grade 4s, grade 5s, grade 6s, because they'd pick on me and they'd, you know, call me bad names. And the Conan mentality of, if my sword can touch him, he bleeds, I can get him. And I was fucking knocking kids down left and right every fucking day. Bang, bang. I just walk in and fucking nail them. And that was my first initial, you know, thing into it, having to stick up for myself. And Conan was the one that pushed me through that mentally to say, fuck you. You know, and I stuck up for kids that were on that bus too, right? We all got picked on.
Yeah.
And there was one adult, this big adult, like he was a big mongoloid. That's what he was classified as. And he had a conniption one day, because sometimes they fucking do this. And I got a fucking open palm to the side of the head from behind so hard that it smashed the fucking bus window with the side of my head. And that was the last time my mom made that happen. I wasn't fucking allowed on that bus no more and everything like that, right? It was a fucking pretty serious fucking situation that back in those days, it wasn't even addressed. It was fucking, you know, the kid got hit, broke the fucking window on the bus. You gonna pay for it? It was his head.
Oh my God.
That's literally how it was, right? But I had to fight lots every day. And that was because I was a skinny fucking little dude till I was in my 20s, working like a man, you know. But I also did a lot of training and everything in myself. Back in those days, it was Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris and Jean-Claude Van Damme and Rocky Balboa, and mimicking their fucking fights in the backyard with my cousins.
Did you have the nunchucks?
Nunchucks, fucking.
Who didn't have nunchucks? Good gosh.
Did you meet
I mean, just saying. I mean, everything
Even I
Darren's
had
saying.
nunchucks.
If we were next door neighbors, we would be best friends. I watched the Sackets. I love that series. I watched, and that was George Clooney and a few other guys there, and I can't think of their names, but I love the Sackets. That was awesome. I didn't know that about you, dude. That was like awesome. And anyways, I'm gonna shut up again because I'm getting to know you. That I don't ask you these questions and we talk as bros.
It's different, you know. Yeah, you bring out different conversations. It's
I was like, that's why we get along so well. I grew up watching Arnold, Conan. Oh yeah.
Well, yeah,
I
you guys
watched all the
have
Chuck Norris
superheroes, right?
Awesome.
Who's your favorite superhero then? That would be Conan, right?
Ooh.
Or no, like Conan's
time,
really not a superhero, or do you consider like a superhero more like Superman and those type of things? How do you consider all that, right? How do you...
That's what I can. A superhero to me are single mommies out there that fucking really, really fucking struggle. They fucking work. They work 2-3 jobs to make sure their kids looked after.
That's definitely not something I thought I was going to hear out of you.
Long ripping for all the single moms out there doing the good work.
For you. Yeah, dabs up. You know, to all the single ladies out there, I wish you luck. There you go. And it's hard raising kids these days, even single dads, any single parent out there.
Any single parent out there.
And even parents
society.
that are trying to work together these days are struggling. So yeah, here's to you and your kids out there. If you're struggling, you're hanging here with us today.
And if
Thanks
you're thinking
for
about
joining
having a
us,
kid,
everyone.
Make sure you stay together. No one wants to have split up parents or be in foster homes or in broken families. But you know what? We all get through it. Look at Dad.
Dab time.
Okay, you made me roll a joint.
I know. See how I am?
Oh yeah, bone rip.
So, what is your favorite way to consume cannabis, Darren? Or is it like different ways throughout the day? Do you have different ways you consume? Maybe you want to share about your what do we call them? The Darrens, and how you got the Darrens. What is the Darren? Maybe let's tell us about the Darren.
Does anybody know what a Jeffrey is?
Okay, so for those
Jeffrey,
that don't,
he's just a friendly neighbor down the street.
Okay, but for those that might be new to some of this, because I was very new and actually didn't know what the Jeffrey was, can someone please explain
of a man named Jeffrey.
Okay, 710, can you explain the Jeffrey? Why Darren goes to get something?
It's a joint that is not just a joint. It's a lot of stuff together. Generally, I mean, like heroin, cocaine. Anything you could throw into it and smoke it, and that's a Jeffrey. Yeah, but it doesn't sound very ominous because it's named Jeffrey, because nobody's afraid of a man named Jeffrey.
And Darren puts so much hash and rosin and keef and loads that joint up so heavy. I just call it a Darren because it's not a Jeffrey. He's not putting any hard drugs in there. It's a Darren.
No, it's all cannabis. It's all cannabis these days, guys. But yeah, that's what it was. It was just basically something that was loaded with something, a whole bunch of stuff. And so now Darren probably went to go get some of his stuff to show off. So I don't want to say too much here. So Johnny, what are you ripping on today? What's everybody ripping on? Have we talked?
I'm just rolling a joint.
710, what are you ripping on?
Just puffing on some CBD rosin, purple orange CBD 2-to-1.
There you go.
Rolled a couple doobs for myself, some Riftberry.
So here's something to talk about.
Please go ahead. Oh, now Darren's back.
I'm using something different than I never used before, and I was really trying to come up with the reasons why. And I was gonna actually 710 a natural way for pH up and down. This is derived from potassium hydrogen. Do you know this product by any chance?
Potassium.
These ingredients.
Potassium carbonate. Yeah, it's just potassium carbonate with.
So what would high amounts of this do to your plants?
It would give your plants potassium.
And your tips would probably curl right up, eh?
No, not necessarily.
Fuck, I can't get away from the curling up of my tips. And then there's this one here. The down.
And that one is, oh jeez, hydroxypropane. I haven't heard of that one before.
There you go.
It's an interesting one. Yeah, I don't know.
So, I've had to narrow things down in the room because, of course, in my garden, everybody knows it was just doing amazing in veg and just killing it. And as things kind of went into flower, started seeing some problems. A couple things that I added was, well, of course, LED lights. We know my PPFD was way too high, so you see that coming up soon, and how I've changed that completely and how the plants are doing. But I did that with just water, and I used that as a pH down in water, and my tips curled. So I was just kind of curious. I was trying to really relate it.
It might just not read on your pH meter as well too, right?
Yeah.
Or it might take a little bit longer than normal to actually adjust your pH. So maybe you're adding too much.
I'm the only one having this problem. It's not like it's a light issue or anything. Darren's back.
Darren's back, and let's
talk
get
about
back
this
to
later,
Darren,
privately.
and we'll hit that grow chat later, bros. So,
got
Darren,
one more.
did you get the gummies?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you went to go get the gummies. Or did you eat them all? That's why I couldn't find any.
Yeah, I've got to make more. I had to pee. Hold it for a while.
I said he had to use the bathroom. I nailed it.
But I'm leaving one of these superheroes out that surfaced later on in life, which is just like the dude is just pure brute strength and fucking ignorance. He's beat up Superman numerous fucking times. Superman is fuck all to this guy. And this dude is called Lobo Solo. Does anybody know who he is? Look him up. He's an intergalactical fucking bounty hunter. And he's a badass fucking sons of bitch, I tell you.
I grew some of those who you're talking about.
real badass.
Oh, yeah. I Gruesome actually called it. He said it was Lobo. There you go.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Nice, I Gruesome. Cheers to you, everybody out there. Thanks for hanging today. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's the superheroes.
Yep.
The single moms out there fucking kicking ass every day, right? Like they're tough, man. Tough. And there's a lot of single dads out there as well. Don't want to leave them out. It's all the single parents that actually make the fucking difference.
And especially right now, you know, with the coronavirus going on, I hate to bring that subject up today, but we are dealing with this, and this is on everybody's mind. Darren, it's up to you. Do you want to talk about it or not? Do we talk about Corona a little bit today, or do we not leave it out?
Go for it.
It's your call.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
I'm open to anything.
Well, you know, we're having it bad down here in the U.S. It looks like a shitstorm. You know, unfortunately, the U.S., our media loves to blow things way out of proportion, and we have to realize that our media shows us the worst. And there's reasons that they're reporting all these cases and stuff like that. So it just kind of sucks that this is going on. And so I feel really bad for single parents because the schools are shut down, and how do they work and how do they make money? And like, they're really scrapping right now. So if you know somebody out there in need and you have some extra fruit or vegetables in your garden that you can give away or go drop off a neighbor's house that a kid might like to eat, just go sit it on their porch. I mean, I get it that Corona's going around, wash it, maybe wrap it up, put it in a sack. I don't know, somehow. But like, there's a lot of fruits and vegetables that are going to waste in people's garden right now. I give eggs away all the time. That's just a message I would like to send out there to anybody that's listening today that might be able to help anybody. And I also give weed out to the homeless people. I love it. It's one of my favorite things to do. So there you go.
Yeah, it's tough times. Tough times for everybody right now. It's, I mean, it's a lot tougher for a lot of other people. I mean, I'm generally pretty lucky at the moment, so knock on wood. But yeah, everybody, that's a great idea. Look out for your neighbors. You know, do some good.
Be nice.
Yeah.
Just be nice.
You can't better yourself unless you better the people around you. That's just how I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. Do some good things. Do good things. Do hard things. That's what life's about.
Exactly. Well, hey, does anybody have any final questions for Darren today? Anybody in chat or anybody on the panel? It's been an awesome chat with y'all.
I got one more.
Keep it up. Okay, go for it.
Darren. Okay, so if you had the choice between concentrates running out of your nose or your hair growing as buds, what would you choose? So concentrates just running out of your nose.
Hair, because you can turn the hair into fucking concentrates, and I wouldn't have.
There you go. Okay, there you go. It's a hard question. I have to ask everybody.
Oh my God! What an odd question.
That's a very peculiar question.
That's like
I'm fascinated by that.
So let's go to everybody on the panel. Tara, hair or nose?
Definitely hair. I'm a hair person. I would love to style buds on my hair. Oh, could you imagine? Oh, how fun would that be? Ooh.
DK?
And just the idea of being able to process it however you want to. So I mean, yeah, I like the hair one.
All right. Okay. Johnny?
Yeah.
Buds or nose
Johnny, you're not talking. What happened again? Is your mic dead? Did you not?
Johnny's probably been talking, but he's been muted or something.
I didn't mute him. I did not mute you.
I can't hear you still, Johnny.
I think it's maybe you got a mute on your headset.
Headphones died.
There you go.
There you are. No, you're there.
The headphones died.
The headphones died. Okay.
Plug them in right now. You. No. Before you talk, go plug them in now. Go talk.
So, buds or nose rosin.
I like my hair long, so of course.
Did you hear the? Oh, you did hear it. Okay.
All right, and Zack here. My profiles. What do you think?
Well, I was gonna say nose rosin there, but now I just feel stupid because you could just process the buds in your hair to whatever you wanted, right? Brilliant.
Yeah, but I really hate pressing buds, so I think I'd go for the nose rosin.
Yeah, I mean, you could just run those buds from your hair into water hash or whatever you wanted.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's
you guys make some good points.
That's kind of like saying,
ready to go.
Yeah, that's kind of like saying, why do you grow then? Why not just go to the dispensary and buy it?
Because all the stuff there isn't that much fun.
Well, they don't make it right.
Yeah.
Because it's fire.
Yeah, it's fire. Right?
The fire.
I love that hat, by the way. That's a cool hat today, DK. Cool hat you got on there.
For sure.
So, anybody else got a question?
Well, Darren.
What?
So, have you done the future question yet?
Go for it.
And what do you see in the future for D420K?
Good question.
Oh, I see.
What's your 20-year goal? What do you see? You look where you are now. You're 71 years old. Where do you see at 71? What do you want to be at 71? Where are you going to be? Here.
I am going to be on the porch of my cabin on a lake that I can live at year round if I choose. And smoking I'll have jars and jars in a storage fucking cold fucking cellar built into the ground like an old school fucking cold cellar full of rosins and all the concentrates that I like. Smoking the best. I'm sure my grandkids will be throwing parties out there and getting drunk till they're fucking puking out of their fucking nose, but at least they'll be safe. And I'll give them some mushrooms and shit like that to try out and expand their minds and show them different things as they're growing up and their friends. And I'll have a good supply of game. That's fucking, I'll be set up for just to sit back and enjoy everything that I have around me. I don't want lots, but I definitely want a bigger grow. I want a little bit bigger property and a few big dogs running around that property. That's
what bike will you have?
I'll have bikes. I'll have an FXR. That's a tour one. That's all fucking mint. I'll have my bike now that I have my Road Glide. That's gonna be every bolt and rubber and stopper and every wire is going to be replaced on that and built brand new engine, everything like that, and be ready to go. I'm going to want a chopper to fucking rip around wherever I'm at. And probably my 67 Chevy done up nicely, not too fucking hardcore, but definitely fucking 400 or 500 horsepower engine and a nice fucking old patina fucking look with good running gear and all the new shit on it. Fucking couple side, just the toys, the shit that you need. But yeah, that's about it.
Simple but comfortable.
Well, I've made it to 50 years old. I'll be 50 this month on the 21st. And fuck, honestly, man.
Holy shit. So this is a pre-birthday, pre-50 party right now.
Yeah, this is like
awesome.
There's myself and probably everyone that knows me, including my mom, everybody that knows me, nobody thought I'd get past 25 or 30. And when we got to 30, it was like, holy fuck, we made it. And then fucking, I'm 50, and me and my buddies are looking at each other like, holy fuck, I'm old, and the pains and everything that we're going through and all that shit from all the punishment we put ourselves through. It's like, it's catching up, and I feel it. But I have a feeling that I'm going to be around for a lot longer as well. So I definitely want to have that set up. So I got a nice, good rocking chair on that couch, on that porch with my fucking mothership, doing fucking dabs, being an old fart, not yelling at the kids saying, get off my fucking lawn. Saying, get up here, do a dab, try this out. Fuck that joint, you guys. What are you doing? Try this mushroom cap. See what it does. You know?
God, we didn't even get to talk about those. Hey, what's your favorite one of those? Do you have a favorite?
Oh, fuck, man. Like type of mushroom or mushroom trip?
Anything. Oh, we didn't even get to talk trips. That was one of my questions. I had a trip question.
Oh, fuck,
I was like a favorite trip. Like, oh man, we got so much to talk about today, Darren. I thank you for coming on. Oh my gosh. It is. It really is a whole nother show. Yeah. Kratom, talking with Darren about trips. I really do want to talk about more trips because that is something I've considered. I've never done it. That's things I want more information on. That's kind of what my channel's about. I'm here getting information out to people, out to medical patients. Darren, really, thank you. Thank you.
Anytime.
Anything else? Do you have any cloning things you want to say today? Do you want to?
We could go on all day.
I know we could, but like, I don't want to keep everybody and take any more time and everybody.
I think we've nailed it so far.
Yeah, we have. And it's been amazing. Johnny, you got a finger up?
Another question.
Yeah.
Darren, out of all the different growing methods over the years that you've grown with, what would you say is the best method for those beginner growers or someone you want to grow with? What would you recommend for that grower to start with? Like, you've done it all, right? So you've done all different methods. What's for that guy who just wants to get into it, what advice would you give that person?
Well, the most forgiving, so when you fuck it up, you're not going to actually fucking start over again, I think would be in dirt, would be in soil. I want to learn TLO. I don't know it. I want to know it. That's my next fucking adventure in my brain, is learning the True Living Organics, because the weed that I've seen from True Living Organics is fucking amazing. I can't fucking believe it. But every single method, you need to do your due diligence and do your research and jump into groups like this and ask questions. There's no stupid questions. Trust me, there's none. So
Living Soil section on Discord is really deep.
Yeah, and like I tried making a soil mix, and I fucking totally transplanted these plants, and I said, I fucking ruined them. Let's do a bong rip. Let's fucking bong rip, mother lovers.
Thank you, Darren, because Raymond Cole has been on me about getting you to say that, and let's end on that, you guys. Have a fantastic night and day, evening, morning, whatever it is, because all people come by here 24/7. You never know what time they watch YouTube, right, y'all? Thanks for coming by. Make sure that you hang out, hit the bell, and if you want to hang out and chat with us, we never know when we're going to go live. DK and I, we've got some amazing panels coming up, some more guests coming on. We got mushroom people talking. We got more kratom talk. We're going to be talking. I don't know what else is going on. Southern Hill just joined us in the house. I feel so bad. We're just getting ready to jump off. He's part of our Johnny B Grow crew. Maybe let's go ahead, Southern Hill, share what you got going on and why everybody's dabbing out and hitting out, and then we'll go around the room and everybody can say how everybody can find one another.
I'm gonna ask Darren.
Oh, you got another question? Oh, boy, Johnny wants this show to go on for another hour. Okay, let's do it. Go for it.
No, I just think he's got to ask a question. I'm going to ask Darren a question. So.
Okay, go for it. You want to do it? Go for it, Johnny B. Darren.
What's
Johnny,
the question?
Go ahead.
I thought Southern Grow Hill was going to ask a question. He's got to ask a question first.
Oh, Southern has to ask a question for Darren.
Ask Darren a question.
Oh, Southern has to ask Darren a question. Southern, do you have a question for Darren before we leave?
What questions have I missed? I just got back from being out and around, so it's kind of late for me to just jump in with the question.
He goes and works out. He as he gets off the couch and he goes and does his big walk around. He's a workout man guy.
I don't want to ask him anything.
Yeah, ask him whatever you want.
What's the main thing that you find cannabis helps you with?
Perfect question.
Well, I like doing it. I like being high, but I think it makes it so I don't have to take any painkillers. I've broken my back. I've broken my neck. I've got steel on both sides of my face. I've broken my arm a couple times. My hands are just from working, from being squished, from fist fighting, from everything growing up. They're just smashed. I broke my leg, dislocated my knee, dislocated both arms and both legs, if I didn't say that. And I don't have to take any painkillers. I smoke weed, I smoke concentrates, or eat edibles if it gets too bad. And I find I'm pretty lucky that way. Like,
amazing.
It helps me out. That's but I smoke it because I like it. You know?
Yeah.
That's the main thing. That's the main thing. I thoroughly enjoy it myself.
Yeah, the bonus is that it helps me with my pain and allows me to not have a painkiller fucking life, because I know what that's like too. Sucks.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Well, Southern Hill, did you want to tell how people can find you? Thanks for tuning in.
Right here, Southern Hill Growing on Instagram, at Southern Hill Growing. And let's do a quick little flash of the garden with the girls right now.
Oh yeah, let's show the grow. Let's do a show your grow part here. I'm so glad you came in. I forgot about this on the deck. Here you go, spotlight.
Gave them a little strip, bottom 1/3 on most of them there 2 days ago, and they're already filling in like crazy. This one in the corner had a little bit of a calcium magnesium deficiency. I've been spraying with ProCal and giving it a heavier feeding with ProCal as well, and it's been bouncing back rather nicely. So these two here, I have Granddaddy Purple. In the middle is 2 Alaskan Purple, and these 2 are Purple Kush.
Right on. They're looking very healthy.
They're happy, and I'm using Guy Green Organic Dry Amendments and just tap water.
Strong.
Simple and easy. Gosh, gotta love that method. I am like all about simplicity. Getting there, trying. Whew. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to 710. How do people find you?
I'm 710 Canuck, Matt, whatever. Yeah, I'm just I'm on Instagram. I'm on if you look up 710 Canuck, you'll find me.
He is the science guy. I call him the science guy or science guy. We love him.
I love science.
My brother from Canada, another brother from Canada. DK, how do people find you?
Hey, I'm Drake KO4 on Instagram. Mainly just find me over here with Tara Lee. Chopping it up with all you guys and trying to get as many good questions in as we can, and happy to see you guys and touch with you every time.
And I always appreciate the moral support. It's hard to go live by yourself. I don't know how you've been doing it all these years. You guys that have been doing all these videos, Darren and Johnny B. Johnny B, speaking of which, Johnny B, how does everybody find you? What do you got growing? What?
John Burfello. Pretty much, if you Google that, you're going to get my Instagram, my YouTube, my LinkedIn, anywhere to contact me through my website, through all that stuff. Pretty easy to contact me. Direct message me through Instagram at 420 Weedmaster. That's the easiest way if you're on Instagram. But otherwise than that, just a good old Google my name.
Awesome. Thanks for joining today, Johnny. Thanks everybody for joining today. And our final person, Darren, D420K. Y'all got the links in the chat, everything else. Final words, Darren. Thank you again. Go ahead.
Thanks for having me, Tara. It's a pleasure.
I really hope you get some followers.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
And we just love hearing your story, and all the information you get out is just vital for everyone to hear. We're all about spreading that information and spreading the love. So fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. If anybody's got questions out there or in here or whatever, just hit my Instagram up or my YouTube or wherever you can message me and ask. If I see it, I'll answer it. Sorry if I don't see it right away and don't, but when I see it, I will answer it.
Yeah, he might be on a bike ride, guys. Oh, speaking of which, dang it, Darren, I totally forgot. I should have put my biker jacket on for you today while I was interviewing. I totally forgot. I had it here and I was like, oh crap, I was going to throw that on. It would have been funny. Oh well, but anyways. But yeah, so Darren does go on these long bike rides, and if you guys are in Canada, reach out to him because he might just swing by. You never know, because I think he came by DK's. He came by some other places, I do believe.
Just threaten me with some good hash. Just go right ahead. See how fucking long it takes me to get there. And Sammy, Carol Baskins is doing fucking awesome.
The Baskin update.
Yeah, she's doing awesome. She's fucking crazy.
Where do we find any information on Carol?
Well, you look at Carol Carol lower space or slash there, and Dabs, Carol Dabs on Instagram, and you'll see pictures and can watch them fucking growing up and doing their thing. It's pretty.
And you know what? I'm going to spotlight Darren one more time so he can say his favorite thing one more time for the whole panel, for everybody that misses Hash Church. We love Hash Church. Come back, Darren. Go for it.
Well, bong rip, mother lovers. Let's do it. Let's do one
You're
more.
awesome. Love you. Fantastic. Thanks for sharing your day, everybody, with us. We really appreciate. Please come back and share some more with us. We'll be back on. We have Dragonfly coming on next, by the way. I think they might be coming on Thursday night. But times change, plans change. They're farming. So just please be with us. They are coming back on. We've got a great show planned for you. So thanks, guys.
Peace.
Peace.